Field. Oh boy.
George Air Force Base, which is down the road about 6 miles. George Air Base was a fighter interceptor base in the late 60s, 70s, but it was also a training base for bombardiers.
Oh, okay.
So this was George Air Base and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base were the two bases in the world that taught bombardiers how to use the Norton bomb sight. That was
It's a good thing to.
Yeah, and most of it is still top secret because the Russians still have propeller-driven aircraft, and they're still trying to get their hands on it.
Oh.
That was the most accurate bomb sight for propeller-driven aircraft. I drove a bus for 20 more years in San Bernardino, Foothill Boulevard, all those areas. That was part of my route. So that's
Oh.
why I know where a lot of places are.
Oh, neat. Okay.
Also here, we also have my grandmother, my grandfathers, and several other people ration cards from World War II.
Oh, really? I've heard about them, but I've never seen them. Ration cards. Okay.
Everything from gas to vegetables. We have to show ration cards.
Cool. And this back in the day was probably the hottest technology here.
Oh, that one there, that belonged to the gentleman who piloted the F-104 closest to us. When he retired and they retired the airplane, he gave us the spec numbers for the aircraft, or the VIN numbers.
Neat.
So, like I said, everything in the museum has been donated to us. And his half acre. This was the Miles ran away from home at 16 years old. He joined the circus and the carnivals, and that's what he did all his life up until he retired. He came back to Victorville and retired. He brought 60 acres. The government brought everything but the last half acre. Now for a part of Highway 15 sits on from the California Aqueduct all the way up to Main Street. And he's the owner.
Oh.
So instead of, he packed up his gear, brought his trailer up here, sat there, and he would sell local vegetables, sodas, and this was a stop on Route 66. So that's where the bottle tree got started. So I'm not sure if you passed the bottle tree.
If I did, I didn't notice it. I might have though.
If you came in from Barstow
Yeah,
on
I did.
66, it would have been on your right-hand side, a big fenced area.
Well, I didn't. I was on
You're on
15. Yeah. I don't
Okay.
think I got off 15 on the 66. I saw the sign, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, he was back up the road here about 15 miles. But that's where the bottle tree got started, was on Miles Mayhem's property. All of the items that you see here came off the fence line when he died. In fact, if you go onto YouTube,
Is that the original
Yeah.
bottle tree?
that's the original bottle tree. And you can see it, it's spread around his property. But the best story about it was when he retired, he put his wall up of wood, and the names that you see, Dead-Eye Tory. A lot of the circuses and the carnivals that he was associated with, they didn't have a boxing kangaroo or wrestling bear. But Dead-Eye Dick, if you could outshoot him at 50 paces and hit the card, you stood to win $25 top prize.
Oh. Back in that day, it was pretty good money, I think.
Yes, it was. So that was one of the places that had Fargo Dealer George. Today we call it poker.
Oh,
I never knew what Fargo was.
I didn't either.
And then the guy came and said, yeah, that was poker. The name of it in that day. And that was something, another sideshow attraction for people coming and bet their money. Fast Gun 80. That was another one. because if you could outdraw him, hit the card, and then reholster your gun in the quickest time, that's the winner. But very few people could do that. So that's
Did they have to outdo him?
They had to
kind of
outdo
thing?
him. 'Cause
Okay.
he was the benchmark.
Okay.
Or he worked for the house. But then when and Bill, anybody he worked with in any of the circuses,
Mm-hmm.
they knew if they could make it to Victorville, they could have a meal and some place to sleep.
Oh.
He always made sure he took care of his friends from the circus and carnivals.
Wow.
So, that was
Okay.
one of the things I like. This is a washing machine from the 1930s. Now, what makes this washing machine so unique is that it's battery powered.
No kidding. Really?
Yes.
Okay.
During the Dust Bowl era, you had the further away you lived from the big city, the less electricity you had.
Mm-hmm.
So you had cities that had no electricity at all, but they had an electric washing machine.
Whoa.
So if you didn't have a car or a tractor, you call your neighbor up and say, "Hey, can you bring your tractor over and I'll do your laundry for you today?"
Ooh.
So then they would hook this just like you're jumping a car.
Mm-hmm.
You have the cables underneath.
Mm-hmm.
You would turn the car on, then turn this on, and you did your wash.
Whoa.
So this came out of Dust Bowl era. And as you can see,
They were ingenious people back in those days too.
this is a Maytag.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know Maytag had been around for so long.
Yeah. Jeez.
Now, this is one of my favorites, my outhouse.
Okay.
I love showing this to the kids
Uh-huh.
because I tell them the Sears and Roebuck book was our era's Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And when you could buy a 2-story house out of that.
Yeah.
This is a replica, but we have the actual book up on the shelf
Okay.
where it says the fortunes.
Yeah, okay. Folgers? This is the actual book. Sears and Roebuck.
Love sitting and take a picture with it. It tore up, so we put it back together, taped it, and
Put
we
it
got
up there and put this one here.
Yeah,
huh?
this one here. But this was used for toilet paper. Any page that wasn't flipped over where somebody in the family wanted something,
Mm-hmm.
that was cleared for toilet paper.
Oh.
But if the new book had not arrived and you needed toilet paper, you went to the suitable substitute.
Oh, I did not know.
Yes,
I did not know.
I like this one because it has the
Substitute for
handle.
toilet paper.
Yes, and this was the stinky finger, as I call it. You had to get in there and pull it out and that.
Clean it up. That way.
That
Ew.
was, you always had a can, if possible, of any corn that you, or they had a can with corn in it as much as possible. So if you had corn during the year or the week, you would dry it out and put it in there, just in case.
Wow.
But this is, I love it when
So
the
that
kids,
sounds like a real good dinner conversation piece there, huh?
Oh, yeah.
When you're eating your corn on the cob.
I love it when the kids, I pull that out and the kids look at it and then it dawns on them what it is. And you watch their faces turn.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I love. So, so
Goodness.
telling them that about that. And I've had to clean this out twice in the 13 years I've been here.
Clean it out because somebody's used it?
Somebody's used it.
Oh, you're
We
kidding.
used to have this set up. We had toilet paper hanging from the walls. We had magazines, newspapers in there. And 80% of the people that would come in here, they didn't know how to speak English.
Uh-huh.
Or they didn't know how to read English.
Okay.
And they had no way of telling us they needed a bathroom. Or they were too embarrassed.
Yeah.
But when you open this up and you see everything in here,
You know
If
it's
it-
okay to do it.
yeah, if it quacks like a duck, waddles like a duck, it must be a duck. So
Yeah.
that's what they did. So,
Oh,
but
wow.
This is what we, but I can still get down. I just have a lot of problems getting up now. So that's why I bored people. But
That's
this,
cool.
this was also a school project from the high school.
But yeah, it looks like it's made out of some recent wood.
Yeah. So on this, you read it from the bottom up in order for it to make sense.
'53, '54, '55.
Yep.
Huh.
So if you're not looking for it, you're going, what? And then when you read it from the bottom up, it makes sense.
So you kind of wonder who wrote that, some China or something, because doesn't Chinese writing backwards,
Chinese go from left, right to
right
left.
to left?
Yeah.
Not from bottom to top? I
No,
thought I saw
I
something went from
I had
bottom
a
to
Chinese
top.
wife.
Uh-huh,
So
okay.
I used to read her comic books in
Uh-huh.
Chinese, and it would start from right-hand side across, down,
Mm-hmm.
and then top to bottom.
Yeah. Okay. I just make it short segments.
These are part of our telephone collection. We have everything starting from the brick. This is my bag phone, a CB, and then we have the older candle lit phones.
My bag phone got ripped off, and I'm so upset about it because I wanted to keep that thing.
Yes,
It was in my car, and somebody broke in my car and stole my bag phone.
I got mine in 1977 when I was changing bases. I had my CB radio, but my wife wanted me to have the telephone.
Latest hill.
As soon as I left Delaware and got to West Virginia, the phone went dead all the way until I got into St. Louis. It did me no good.
Yeah.
So my CB radio was constant all the way across country. So I missed those days.
And I have a CB radio to keep me abreast of accidents on the freeway. Go to Channel 19, and truckers are talking all the time about what's going on in front of you.
Yep.
So it helps a lot.
I want to put mine back into my vehicle, but I'll put it back in one day. But I missed my whip antenna. I wish I had taken it with me when I sold my van.
Oh.
Now, a lot of things here are echoes of the past. A lot of the kids, they get a kick out of looking at the real lawnmower. And I tell them, yeah, we used to do $1 a yard. No matter how big the yard was, it was still $1. So,
They'd never go for that, even with the power deals now.
no.
No, not happening.
And we have scales for lifting bales of hay to weighing people or putting luggage on the train. We even have your ice holder or the hay baler.
Okay.
And
Yep.
that's what a lot of people do with this one. This is a re-railer for the railroad.
Oh, okay.
Anytime one of the wheels was slipped off, 2 or 3 guys could get on this, but if the car was a heavy car like a tanker, you could put the extension on it, put it under the wheel, and then you just lift up and then moved it over. So that was one of the things I got to learn how to use in the military when we moved aircraft. This wheel was for the Model T.
We're riding in the ice, maybe?
No.
Or snow? Or just through the dirt
I
roads?
don't want to say Edison. Ford. He realized even after he started making tractors, a lot of people could not afford a Model T and a tractor. So if you had a Model T and you were a farmer, you would take the rear wheel off and the fender. Put this on. This doubled as a tractor.
Oh, goodness. That's new. I have never heard that before, and I could sure see it happening.
Yeah. Now the reason we came about this was because the Model T pickup we have came out of the CNR silver mines in Colorado. When they blasted for veins, they couldn't use regular rubber tires because it would sink in just like sand. So they would put these on so that they could continue working.
Okay. Neat.
Now when you start up again,
Yeah, I'm going.
oh,
I just did it right away.
these are fingernails. This is a set of 1 of 4 an artist from overseas made for us. If you blow the nails up along with the box, you'll see Route 66 painted from Santa Monica on the left all the way across to Chicago on the right.
Okay.
This is one of the original transistorized AM radios.
Oh,
Have you ever heard of Bill Lear?
yes.
Learjets? He's the co-inventor
Whoa.
of the transistorized radio.
Yeah, it's that one right
Right
there.
one right there. Now, a lot of people didn't realize it's because he and his partner, when they approached the car companies, they didn't want nothing to do with it. A little known fact is that a lot of car companies were trying to put standard bulb radios into cars,
Yeah.
but the shaking and the banging kept breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So when they approached them, they didn't want nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
They went to an auto show. They wouldn't let his car in. He parked it outside. Now this is in the late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
They turned the radio on. They drew a crowd real quick. They took the radio out of the dashboard, opened the door, and dropped it on the sidewalk.
And it was still playing?
It still played. That's what they did all day long, would drop it on the sidewalk.
Whoa.
After that, by the end of the day, all major car companies put orders in for radios.
And what most people, I guess, don't understand, I guess, or don't know is that, and you use it so much, car radio, and all the bumping that it goes through and stuff, but it always still works. I mean, it doesn't break.
Yeah.
And through the heat of the day and stuff, 110 outside, but maybe 130 inside the car,
Yeah.
it doesn't blow up.
Yeah. And because of the transistors, that's what made it so durable.
Wow.
So,
Cool.
and these are a lot of the items that we've collected over the years for maintenance of cars.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I used to be able to open up the hood, crawl inside with my motor,
Mm-hmm.
sit on the motor on the motor mounts, have my distributor cap,
Uh-huh.
and you had the strobe light,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sat there and turned the distributor light until the two lines lined up. You know the engine was in line.
In sync, huh?
In sync,
Yeah.
yes. Now they stick a little pin in there and charge you $500.
Yes. Well, I just had my car tuned up and it was 1,200.
Okay, so you know what I mean. This is from the Model T era,
Uh-huh.
the Model A. Up until the late 40s, they were using that to tune cars.
Mm.
It's the same basic thing as in the big one, but the bigger one, they charge you more money and was supposed to be more 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Neat. Interesting.
oh. Now, these are
We still have more, so I guess I have part 4 coming up.